Good morning, students. Up to now, we have completed two chapters. The first one is integers, and the second one is the fractions and decimals. And now we are entering into the third chapter, which is simple equations. Simple equations. These simple equations are also called as linear equations in one variable. So you see here, linear equations in one variable. Simply, this chapter name is kept as simple equations. Actually, these are linear equations in one variable. So, what are the contents in this chapter you see here? First one is introduction about the equations. Next, definition and some explanation about linear equations in one variable. Next, solution of a linear equation in one variable. How to solve that equation. Some concept will be explained here. And forming an equation by using the mathematical statements, how to convert the statement into the equation we will learn here. Next, exercise 3a based on these concepts. Next, solving an equation using four types of methods here. Four methods are given here. Which one is, first one is trial and error method, second systematic method, third solving equation by transposition, solving equation of the form ax plus b by cx plus d is equal to p by q. These four methods will be used. Generally, we will use only this transposition method and this fourth method only. These methods we will learn how to solve the equation by using these methods only. Next, using these concepts, you have to solve the problems in exercise 3b and 3c, and then some applications of linear equations. Already you learned these applications when you are solving in the integers chapter and fractions chapter also. Some problems, when you are solving some problems you may have faced, by using the equations only you can solve the problems, those problems. Okay, those are called as the applications of linear equation. By using the equations only some problems may be solved. So those are called as the applications of linear equations. So on this concept we have to solve the problems which are in the exercise 3d. So now we are going to the introduction of the chapter. Before going to the introduction and some important definitions, first I would like to recollect some of the problems which you have faced in the integers and fractions and how you solved, and then I will come back to this concept of this introduction and important definitions of this chapter. So see here, some problems whatever you have faced in the previous chapters, which is integers and fractions. Let me recollect these problems here. You see, the sum of two integers is 20. If one of them is 9, find the other. So these type of problems you may have faced in the integers chapter here. So now I will explain how to solve these problems once again. You know how to solve them also. Once again I will explain. The sum of two integers is 20 is given. If one of them is 9, find the other. So one of the integers is given, another integer you have to find out. Means one unknown number you have to find. That unknown number you may have to take it as some x or y or some p or q, any letter you can take. Okay. Whatever the number you have to find out in this problem, you have to take it as some a letter. So here I am taking the other number as x here. So if you take this number as x, the sum of two integers is 20. If one of them is 9, means you can write it in the form of some x plus 9 is equal to 20. Okay. This number you have to find out. One of the number is given as 9. The sum of these two numbers is given as 20. Now it is converted this mathematical statement into the form of the equation. Now you have to find out the solution of this x value, solution of this equation. So finding out the solution of this equation is nothing but what? Finding out the value of this unknown number. Unknown value only gives the solution of the given equation. So already you learned how to find out that using some methods. I used the transposition method to find out this. I sent this plus 9 to right side, then it will become as minus 9, then it will become as 20 minus 11 gives 11. Okay, so x is equal to 11 is the answer. So this is the unknown number. So finding out the unknown number we have to do by using the equations only. So here this is one of the application of the equation. Okay, already you learned this, but you don't know a special chapter is for this also. Next one more problem is the difference of an integer a and minus 7 is minus 1. Find the value of a. Difference of an integer a, already it is given as some letter. Difference means you can take minus of is minus of the difference of a and minus 7 is given as minus 1. Already it is given in the form of an equation. Then you have to find the value of a. So this is also an equation. This is the application of equations here. Okay, now to find out this value, first you convert this. This is minus into minus, plus 7 is equal to minus 1. Now you want only this unknown value. So keep it in the left side, whichever you want in the left side only. Remaining terms you send it to the right side. Already minus 1 is there in the right side, and I am sending this plus 7 to that side. It will become as minus 7 by transposing this. This is called as the transposition method. Now a is equal to minus 1, minus 7 is minus 8. Okay, so this is the solution of this equation. So this is the value of second. So here also you are using the equation to find out the unknown value. Okay, wherever you want to find out the unknown value, you have to use the equations only. So that's why equations chapter is very important. These equations will come in any chapter, maybe integers, fractions, rational numbers. The application is vast. So that's why you have to know how to solve the equations perfectly. Okay, if 14 times of an integer is 28, what is the integers? 14 times of an integer. An integer, here it is the unknown value. So if you take this as x, so 14 times of x, which is an integer, is equal to 28. So this is an equation. So then he is asking that what is that integer? This x value, how to find out. So 14 times of x is 28 means how many times of 14 is 28? 2 times. Otherwise we can systematically, how can you do this? Just send this into 14 to that side, it will become as divided by 14. Okay, if plus and minus goes to right, it will become as minus or plus. If into and divided by goes to right, it will become as into becomes division or multiplication becomes division. If division goes to right side, it will become as multiplication. Those rules we are going to learn in this chapter. Okay, now if you divide this with 14, 14 ones, 14 2. So 2 by 1 means 1, 2 here. So 2 is the answer. So 14 2 is 28, you know already this one. So which is x. Unknown value is x is equal to 2 here. So this is also finding out the unknown value. Where what should be added to 3 by 4 to get 1? What should be added to 3 by 4? What should be added means that whatever the number I am taking added to this number, I am taking it as x. So which gives to get 1 means which gives 1. So what should be added to 3 by 4 to get 1 means how can I write this in the form of equation? 3 by 4 plus x is equal to 1. So now how can I write this? To find out the x value, keep the x value in the left side only and send this constant terms to the right side. So now already 1 is there, keep it like that only and send this plus 3 by 4 to right side, which is minus 3 by 4. If plus 3 by 4 goes to the right side, it will become as minus 3 by 4. So now take the LCM. Here cross multiplication we can use 1 4s are 4 minus 1 3s are 3 by 1 4s are 4. It is 1 by 4. So now by adding 1 by 4 to 3 by 4, you will get 1 here. So this is the unknown number what we have to add to the 3 by 4. So now take one more example. Here what should be subtracted from 2 to get 1 by 2? What should be subtracted from 2? So you should take 2 as the first number. So don't confuse. From 2 means 2 you have to take the first number. Whatever the number you have to subtract, that unknown number you have to take it as x to get 1 by 2. What should be subtracted from 2 to get 1 by 2? That is, I am writing it as an form of equation. Now you can find out the x value by using the appropriate methods here. Okay. So here also, this is also finding out an unknown value. Next, by what number should we divide 3 by 4 to get 1 by 4? By what number should we divide? By what number means that I am taking it as x. By what number should we divide 3 by 4 to get 1 by 4? So this is also, you can find out x value. This is also an equation form. Okay. So the product of two numbers is 12 1 by 2. If one of the number is 6 1 by 2, find the other. Product of two numbers means two numbers already it is given in the form of 12 1 by 2. If one of the number is given as 6 1 by 2, find the other. That other number I am taking it as x, which gives 12 1 by 2. Okay. Here also you can find out the x value by sending it to the other side. Okay. So how can you do this? I will do this also. This first you convert them into mixed fractions into impropers. This is 13 by 2 into x gives 25 by 2. So 12 are 24 plus 1, 25 by 2. So if this into 13 by 2, 13 by 2 goes to that side, this will become as divided by 13 by 2. Divided by 13 by 2. So now you know how to divide two fractions. So x is equal to, take the first fraction as it is, convert the division into, take the reciprocal of the second fraction. So now you can cancel 2 on the 2 on the. So x is equal to 25 on the 25 by 1 into 30, 30. So this number you have to take and you have to multiply this with the 6 1 by 2 to get the 12 1 by 2. So this is the answer. So in all these problems in your previous chapters, you used the equations only. So for these equations, you have to solve to find out the unknown values. So wherever you want to find out the unknown value, you have to use the equations. In the equation, definitely you will have an unknown value. Keep that in the left side and send all the known values to the right side and make the operations like this. So you can get the value of unknown value in the left side. Okay. So that's the some of the introduction about the problems which we have faced in the previous problems. Now I will go into the actual chapter here. So before going to that, I will tell you the definition of some algebraic expression. So before going to algebraic expression, I will write a mathematical statement which is 5 times of a number is added to 5 times of a number is added to 3 times of a number. 3 times of a number. Just it is a sentence. So how can I write this in the form of expression? 5 times means into times of a number. You see, this is a unknown number. Is added to 3 times of, this is also one of the unknown number. Okay, here 2 unknown numbers are there here. Okay, so 5 times of a number, this number I am taking it as x. this number I am taking it as y because this is another number. So 5 times of x is added to. Is added to means how can you write this? And take the plus sign in between them. 5 times of x is added to 3 times of another number, which is 3 times of y. So by simply writing this, removing the into signs, you can write 5x plus 3y. So this type of statement is called algebraic expression. So this is the mathematical statement. This is called as the algebraic expression. Only expression only. Okay? This is called as the algebraic expression, which is having two variables. Here two variables are there. Okay. So in the same statement, if I take 5 times of a number, 5 times of a number is added to 3 times of a number gives 25 is given, for example. Gives 25. These two words are extra in this. So up to here this is same. So we can take it as 5 times of a number is added to 3 times of a number. Gives 25. How can you write this? Is equal to 20. So by adding these two terms, you will get 25 here. Now you can observe what is the difference between these two. These two expressions, the difference is here it is only some expression only 5x plus 3y. But this 5x plus 3y is equal to 25 is having some equality symbol in between left hand side and right hand side. It is having two parts. First one is called as the left hand side. Second part is called as the right hand side, and the middle one is which is an equality symbol. Equality symbol. Okay. So this type of statements are called algebraic equations, because this expression is having some equality symbol in between LHS and RHS. It is called as the algebraic equation. The main difference between expression and equation is it is having an equality symbol, and here in the expression you should not have any equality symbol, just it is a statement 5 times of x plus 3 times of y, just up to there only this expression will be there, but this expression will be equal to some other number in the equation. So and equality symbol also will be there here, so that's why this is called as an equation. Okay, it's called as the algebraic equation. So in the algebraic equation, either in the equation or the expression, you have some terms. For here you see this is 5x plus 3y is equal to 25. Here two terms are there. Terms always will be separated by either plus or minus or multiplication symbol or division symbol. Any symbol you can take here. For example, it is 5x into 3y, that is called as another type of expression. Okay. So here, for example, it is 5x minus 3y is equal to 25. That is also an equation. Here, if it is 5x divided by 3y is equal to 25, that is also an equation. Terms may be divided by any of the operations, which is any of the 4 operations you can take. Okay. So this is called as the first term. This is called as the second term. Okay. This is called as the constant term. Okay. In the first term, you have two numbers. The first term is built by two numbers. Here, this 5 is called as the numerical. 5 is called as the numerical factor or coefficient. Numerical factor or coefficient. C-O-E-F-F-I-C-I-N. Numerical factor or coefficient. The second number is called as the literal factor or variable. Literal factor or literal coefficient or variable. Three names are there. Okay, this x, y, these are all called as the literal factors or literal coefficients or variables also. Literal coefficients or variable also. Okay, so here also this is the numerical factor and this is the literal coefficient, and the number which does not have any literal coefficients, only number, it is having only a number. Okay, this type of terms are called constant terms. These type of terms are called constant terms. Okay, so these two are called as the terms. In each and every term you have two factors. Okay, maybe two factors or three factors or four factors also will be some in terms 5xy, like that also some terms will be there in the equations. Okay, so here two factors only are there. Here whatever the numbers are having, whatever the factors are in the form of the numbers are called numerical factors or numerical coefficients. Whatever the factors are in the form of letters like A, B, C, D up to Z, any letter you can take, X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, like that. So these are called as the literal factors or literal coefficients and also called as the variables. Yeah, this is a constant factor. These numerical factors are also called as the constant factors because we cannot change the value of this constant factor. But X and Y, you can apply any value in place of X and Y. That's why these factors are also called as the variables. Okay. And here this is purely constant term. You cannot change this, it is a constant term. So these are the main terms you have to know about while you are learning about the simple equation. So now I am going to the actual chapter and I will tell you the actual definitions here. You can write in your notes also from here. So this is the introduction part, some important definitions. Constant. Already I told you what is a constant? A symbol having a fixed numerical value is called a constant. A symbol having a fixed numerical value is called a constant. You see here, observe here, one equation is given 4x plus 3 equal to 0 here. Here only one variable is there, no other, only one variable. So here 4x only having a numerical coefficient and a variable, but 3 is only constant here, is equal to 0. Here the constant term is 3 here. Okay, constant term is 3 here. So this is the fixed numerical value. So next, variable. A symbol which takes various numerical values is known as a variable. You see here 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. In here we can substitute any value in place of x here. Various numerical values you can substitute here. So these symbols are called literal coefficients, or also called variables. Literal coefficients are also called as variables. Next, algebraic expression. Already I told you, a combination of constants and variables connected by some or all of the four fundamental operations plus, minus, into, and division is called an algebraic expression. See, this is 3x plus 4y minus 5z. Here there is no equality symbol, only words are there which are separated by plus and minus only here. These are it. And these, in this algebraic expression, three terms are there which are separated by two fundamental operations, which is one of them is plus here, this is minus. So this is called as an algebraic expression, not an equation. So next, terms of an algebraic expression. The different parts of the algebraic expression separated by the signs plus or minus are called the terms of the expression. Here how many terms are there here? Three terms are there. So 3x, 4y and 5z. So whenever you want to, you have to tell the terms of the expression, you have to tell them along with the sign. If it is plus, no need to tell that sign, but if it is minus, you should tell along with the sign. So first term is what here? Plus 3x, this is plus 4y, this is minus 5z. Okay, including sign you have to tell the terms. Including sign you have to tell the terms. The first term is 3x plus 3x. Second term is plus 4y. Third term is minus 5z. Whatever the sign is in front of the term, you have to take. Don't take the after the sign. Okay, so this is plus 3x. Because there is no sign in front of them, we have to take it as plus 3x. This is plus 4, this is minus 5. These are the terms of an algebraic expression. Next, factors. So each and every term of an algebraic expression consists of a product of constant factors and variable factors. So already told you, in each and every term, you have a constant factor and a variable factor, or numerical factor or literal factor. Constant factor is also called as a numerical factor or numerical coefficient. All the terms you have to familiar with all the terms, otherwise you will be confused. Constant factor or numerical factor or numerical coefficient, all are same. Okay. Next, variable factor, literal factor or literal coefficient. These three terms are also same. Okay, it's also called as a literal factor or literal coefficient also. Okay, so in each and every term you have constant factors and literal factors also. Okay, so here this is called as a constant factor, and this is called as a variable or literal factor. These are called as the factors or coefficients also. So next, here in a term of an algebraic expression, any of the factors with the sign of the term is called the coefficient of the product of the other factors in the term. For example, if I take minus 5 into x into y, the coefficient of x is the remaining two numbers. For example, if we take x here, the remaining two numbers are called the coefficient of the remaining two numbers. So for here I am writing here minus 5xy means what is the meaning of this one actually? This is minus 5 into x into y. Simply we are writing minus 5 into minus 5 into x into y as minus 5xy without reading this into. So now if I take x only, what are the coefficients of, or what are the remaining factors of this x here? Minus 5 into y, which is minus 5y. Minus 5y is the coefficient of x here. Okay. So if I take only y, what are the coefficients of y here? Remaining terms, which are minus 5x. Minus 5x. If I take only minus 5, what are the coefficient of minus 5 here? Xy. Remaining terms xy you have to take. So that's you have to remember here. The coefficient is nothing but factor. Here also factors, but remaining terms you have to take. Okay. The coefficient of x is minus 5 and the coefficient of y is minus 5x. If I take only minus 5, remaining numbers, literal factors only have to take xy. So for minus 5, xy is the coefficient. Okay. Next, constant term. A term of the expression having no literal factors is called a constant term. We observe here minus 3 will not have any literal factor. Only number is there. So this type of terms are called constant terms. This type of terms are called constant terms. There will be no variation in this. You cannot change the value of this minus 3. Okay, you cannot substitute in place of minus 3. You can substitute only in place of variables only. Okay, that's why this is called as a constant term. Next, like and unlike terms. It is very important. In your integers and fractions, in decimals, in all the chapters you have learned what are the like terms and unlike terms. Like terms means which have the same characters. So in here also, in a given algebraic expression, the terms having the same literal factors are called like or similar terms. Otherwise, they are called unlike terms. For example, if I take 5x plus 3y, again I am taking, if I take 4x plus 6z is equal to 0, I have taken. Observe here, Here the literal factor of 5 is x here, the literal factor of 3 is y here, the literal factor of 4 is again x, literal factor of 6 is z here. So what is the definition of like terms here? In any algebraic expression, the terms having the same literal factors are called the like or similar terms. Here for 5x and 4x, it is having same literal factor. That's why 5x and 4x are the like terms because they have the same literal factor. But if we take these two terms, it is having other factor, which is y here, and this is having z here. So 5x and 3y are the unlike terms, and also 3y and 4x also unlike terms, and also 3y and 6z also unlike terms, 4x and 6z also unlike terms. Only 5x and 4x are the like terms. So what is the use of finding out the like terms and unlike terms? Like in the integers and like in the fractions and decimals, if you know whether the given terms are given fractions or given decimals are like terms, only you can add or subtract. Okay, you can compare also. You can compare whether they are less or greater. You can add them, you can subtract them. So here also you can add if they are the like terms. Otherwise you cannot add. You cannot add 5x and 3y. You cannot add 3y and 4x. You cannot add 4x and 6z. You can add only the like terms which are having the same literal factors like x and x. For example, one more term is some 5y is there in this equation. You can add 3y and 5y because these two are the like terms, 3y and 5y. So by adding these two, you can write it 5 plus 4, which is 9. Just you can add the numerical coefficients and write the x as. So 5x and 4x, by adding them 9x. Here 3y plus 5y means 3 plus 5 is 8y, and remaining term 6z is equal to 0. Like that you can simplify the given equation like this. If you have some like terms are there like this, you can just add them, or if it is minus is there in between them, you can subtract them. Okay, like that you can do some operations in between them if they are the like term. So that's the main use of finding out the like and unlike term. Okay, so now you can see the one more example here. In this expression, x square plus 5x minus 3y plus 4x, 5x and 4x only the like terms. Observe here, this is x square is different. X square is different with x. This x square means what is the meaning of this actual? This is 1 into x square. Okay, 1x square. This is 5x. Even though looking like same variable here, x square is different with x. X square means what actually? It is the product of two variables x into x. Okay, for example, if it is x to the power of 3, it is what is the meaning of this? It is the product of 3x, like this, 3x into x into x. Okay, x into x into x means x cube, or x to the power of 3 also you can read it. This you can read it as x to the power of 2 or x square also you can read it. Okay, the main there is a reason in between why we are reading them as square and cube. I will explain later here. Okay, x to the power of 2, x to the power of 3. If it is only a single x, that is x to the power of 1. If it is power 1, we cannot write always power 1, just using simply I can write it as only x here. Okay, if it is having power 1, simply you can write it as x only, you cannot read it as x to the power of 1. But more than 1 only, you can read it as x to the power of 2, x to the power of 3, x to the power of 4, like that. We will learn these type of numbers in the exponents chapter. We may have in the next maybe the exponents chapter we will learn. Okay, so now x square is different with x. So this is different term. X square and x terms are the unlike term. Only 5x and 4x are the like term. Okay, next. Polynomial. Polynomial means it is nothing but an algebraic expression only. All algebraic expressions are the polynomials only. one more name for algebraic expression. So an algebraic expression containing two or more terms is called a polynomial. If in any algebraic expression, if it is having two terms or more than two terms, is called a polynomial. If it is having only one term like 3x only is there, this is called as the monomial. This is called as the monomial. Mono means single term. Monomial, which is having single term. Okay. If it is having two terms like this 3x plus 4y like that, it is called as the binomial. Bi means two, mono means single. So binomial. If it is having three terms like 3x plus 4y plus 5z, that is called as the trinomial. If it is having three terms means that is called as the trinomial. So more than three terms all are called as the polynomials only. Okay. So except monomial, all binomials, trinomials and quadrinomials all are called as the polynomials only. Because what is the definition here? An algebraic expression containing two or more terms. So means binomials, trinomials and quadrinomials all are the polynomials only. Only this is called as the monomial. Okay. So all algebraic expressions are called as a polynomial. So this is a polynomial. It's having 1, 2, 3, 4 terms are there here. Next one is linear polynomial. Linear polynomial means a polynomial in which the highest power of the variable is 1 is called the linear polynomial. Here you see the variable is here x. What is the power of x here? Only 1. If the highest power of the variable is 1, this total expression is called as the linear polynomial. It is called as a linear polynomial. Here you see, observe in this previous one, the highest power of the variable is here 2 here. This is not a linear polynomial. This is called as a quadrilateral. Sorry, quadratic equation. Okay, quadratic equation. This is called as the linear equation or linear polynomial or linear equation. But this is not an equation, expression actually, linear expression. Okay, so this is called as a linear expression. If it is having a equality symbol, that will become as the equation. That's what we are going to learn next one. This equation. An equation is a statement of equality which contains one or more unknown quantities or variables. An equation is a statement of equality which contains one or more unknown quantities or variables. You see, two variables are there, two unknown values are there, and an equality, it is having some equality symbol. It is a statement of equality which is having one or more unknown quantities. So that's why it is called as the equation. Equation is a statement of equality which contains one or more unknown quantities or variables. Unknown quantities are nothing but the variables only. Whatever the values we have to find out are called as the unknown quantities. Those are called as the variables only. It's are x, y, z like that. Next, linear equation. In a equation, the power of the variables may be more than 2 or 3 or will be there. If it is only 1, like in the linear polynomial definition, linear equation also will have only the power of the variable will be 1 here. Here, what is the power of the variable here? Only 1. An equation in which the highest power of the variable is 1 is called a linear equation. Here you see 5 into x to the power of 1 here. If there is no power, we can write 1 here. Minus 3 is equal to 0. Only one variable is there. That too having only 1 as the power. That's why it is called as a linear equation. Linear equation. It's very important definition. Next. Linear equations also will have more than two variables. Okay, more than one variable also will be there. Linear equation, one variable means it has only one variable, which is 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. In this, only one variable is there. Linear equations may be like this also: 5x plus 3y plus 4z is equal to 0. Here you see, for every variable you have only the power is 1 only here. X power 1, this is y power 1, this is z power 1. Maximum power of the variables is 1 only here. This is also a linear equation, but more than one variable is there. 3 variables are there. That's why it is a linear equation of 3 variables. If it is having only like this, the 5x plus 3y is equal to 0, this is called a linear equation of 2 variables. If it is having only one variable like this, 5x minus 3 is equal to 0, this is called as linear equation in one variable only. Only one variable is there. Okay. This is called a linear equation in one variable only. This is also called as simple equations because simply it is having only one variable, that is called as simple. That's the name of your chapter. You can observe it. If you observe the name of the chapter, it is given in the form of simple equation because simply in a linear equation you have only one variable. That's why these equations are called as simple equations also. Okay. So next, solution of a linear equation. Solution, already you found so many solutions in the previous chapter. Already I told you in the introduction also. Solution means what? The value of the variable which makes the equation a true statement is called the solution or root of the equation. By using that value, you can make the given equation as a true statement. As a true statement. By substituting which value the given equation becomes as a true statement is called the solution of the equation. Okay. You are not going to find out the equation here, just you are verifying that this x is equal to 2 is the solution of this equation or not only here. You see, observe here, if you observe this example, verify that x is equal to 2 is a root of the equation or not. To verify that, in place of x, whatever the value is given in the problem, I am substituting here. Take the LHS value only, which is 5x minus 12. In place of x, I am substituting 2 here because it is given already here. By substituting, you will get 5 2s are 10 minus 12, which is minus 2, which is nothing but the right hand side of the equation. So, it is equating to the RHS value. Means for the value of x is equal to 2, the equation is becoming true. The equation is becoming, this statement is becoming true. That's why x is equal to 2 is the solution or a root of the this given equation. Solution or the root of the given equation. Okay. Next, formation of an equation. So how to form an equation? Already you learned in the previous chapters also by observing and reading the statements, how to convert the given statements into the form of the equation. So converting a given mathematical statement in the form of algebraic equation is called the formation of an equation. So whatever the statement is given in the form of words, you have to convert into the form of the numbers or literal factors, or you can take them and you can convert them into the equation. That is called as the formation of an equation. Observe here, for example, if it is given as the sum of 3 times of x and 11 is 32. This is a mathematical statement. It is a statement which is given in the words. You have to convert into the form of some equation. So 3 times of x means what here? 3 into x, which is 3x. So up to here it is converted into 3x. The sum of this and 11, this 3x and 11. How can I write this? 3x plus 11. The sum of 3 times of x and 11 means, how can I write this in the form of expression 3x plus 11? Is means this expression is equal to 32. So how can I write this? The sum of 3 times of x and 11 is 32 means 3x plus 11 is equal to 32. Now it is fully converted into the form of an equation. So this is called as formation of an equation by using the given mathematical statement. Okay. So similarly, you can convert given equation into the form of the mathematical statement reversely. Here you have some liberty. Use the different words also without changing the meaning. Okay. For example, 4z minus 2 equal to 5. How can I write this? 2 subtracted from 4 times of z gives 5. This is one method. Otherwise, the difference of 4 times of z and 2 is 5. Like this also you can write. The difference of 4 times of z and 2 is 5. Or 2 subtracted from 4 times of z gives 5. Both are equal here. Okay. The meaning should not be changed. So this is the conversion of a statement into equation and an equation into statements. Like this can convert by using all these concepts. So you are going to solve the problems in the exercise 3a. So up to now I am going to conclude this. In the next session I will start the exercise 3a. Okay, good day all of you. Thank you.